Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be showing you the basics of storage systems, what you need to know, what's really handy to know, and some examples. So first off, we have the basic automatic storage system. Now this is a single tile. Usually you would expand this out for many chests, and you would have a hopper line like this next to the chests. So the items would go through, get sorted for this specific item, and go down. If this chest is empty, if that chest is empty, they go into. If that chest is full, they go into this chest, and so on, so on. Now, the reason this works is because a comparator will check if an item is inside this hopper, like such, and because the hopper is not full enough for the comparator to send a strong enough signal to activate this repeater, items will not go down, and this hopper will be locked. Once you put an extra item in, such as more hoppers, this hopper fills up to a certain strength, which the comparator sends out a signal strong enough to activate the repeater and unpower this redstone torch. So once this redstone torch gets turned off, these hoppers become unlocked, and the items can go inside the chests. Now moving on to a faster design, this is pretty much the same concept of this, except it is double speed. Double speed is because the hopper, like this, if you put it sideways, it would send items sideways as long as downwards. So I fill this up with items. You can see it's going down 2 at a time into the chest because it's going to one's going there and one's going there, and they're both getting funneled into the chest, which is faster than just a single one as such, going one down at a time. So this is just the same concept, except it gets pushed into 2 hoppers. Now this is essentially that same design, but instead of having hoppers send in items, we have a minecart hopper. And the minecart hopper is a lot faster than a regular hopper when collecting items, at least. So we will have a sorting one here. In this one you would have your item unique and your one item you want to get sorted, and you would have a different item here and your normal filter item there. So this works by the minecart being on a detector rail, allowing the comparator to sense it and lock these hoppers. And in turn, when these hoppers are locked, this minecart can't pull anymore into the chest. So these are just some basic sorting mechanisms, but with every sorting mechanism, you would probably want a chest to. You could just dump all your random items in, and then they would automatically get sorted into a mechanism like this. Now, to make something like that, you would need one of these. So essentially, this is just a chest in which I can put some items, and they would get sucked into these hoppers. Now, this is especially fast because it uses a hopper minecart, and this hopper minecart is next to the ender chest, so it could be on 2 blocks at the same time. If you notice, the ender chest is a bit smaller than a regular block, so the minecart can be on both. Now, if you notice, there is no rail. There doesn't need to be a rail. And with the 2 hoppers at the bottom, they could take the items out of the hopper minecart quicker. Now, this is that same concept, except with 2 hopper minecarts, so it would go essentially twice as fast into 4 hoppers. Now, over here, this is Lil Mango's design. You should definitely check him out. This is absolutely crazy. He has designed a 8 minecart. So you put these in, and it just instantly disappears and gets funneled into these hoppers. Okay, so once you have these all done, you probably want a way to transport the items that go they get sucked out of this chest into your storage system, automatic sorting system. Now to do that, we first have to know this small contraption. This is a pretty basic one. You could probably make a faster one or a slower one in turn, where you have items get put into this hopper, dropper, and the redstone notices that there's an item in there and powers this piston into observers. Now usually if you have 2, it goes at a constant rate, like such. So over here we have our item elevators. Now these 2 are just the same. I was just testing out some things at the bottom, but you put a item into there, into this chest, and the item gets recognized by the comparator over here and gets sent up the chain. You don't even have these top ones actually to work, but still. This is chainable, so you can have very tall as you would like. And how it works is that concept over there, except when this observer goes up, it isn't noticed by this observer, and it starts a kind of sequence of rapid firing signals. Now this is the same thing, except I find this to be a bit slower. So this is essentially the item gets recognized by this comparator that goes inside here. It unpowers this redstone torch, which was locking these two hoppers. Now, because these two hoppers are faced into each other, they want to keep passing an item in between them. So, and this comparator notices when the item goes into this hopper. Once the item goes into this hopper, the comparator will send out a signal, and this massive chain of redstone torches power each dropper and putting them all in the chest. Great, now that that's all done, we can go on to, this is pretty useful for a storage system, is Shulker Box fillers and Shulker Box emptiers. Now, this is a Shulker Box emptier, where you have your Shulker Boxes like this, you put them into a hopper, they get sent down to here, and sometimes they do require a quick thinger. But once the first one, this one is destroyed, the comparator will it would stop powering this redstone torch, and this redstone torch would send a signal to the repeater, which tells the dropper to put another shulker box. Now, because it's placed with the dropper on top of it, I can't open it, but you can see the redstone is coming out of it, and being collected by these two hoppers, and the shulker box was also collected. Now here is a shulker box filler. Now these are really handy. In this, you put all your shulker boxes, or in here you put all the items you want to go in. Let me show you. This will take a while, so because of the hopper only taking one item out of the chest at the same time. So if I really wanted to speed these up, actually hang on. Sorry, my bad. You put your items in here, and you put your shulker boxes in there. So I would put one of those, and this might take a while, so I will fill these up. Sorry, I'm using a really bad mouse right now. Alright, so that fills up. The honey box stops the shulker box from flying anywhere, and it gets put into this hopper. Now, this is the basic mechanism. Do a quick one around. The repeater is facing into the dropper, and the slab is there to destroy the shulker, with the observer facing into the redstone, which gets triggered by the absence of a block. So I'll show you a quick example of putting all these concepts together. This is my storage, which I built in my survival world. I've just copied it over into this world. So if you look through here, you can see I've used the minecart chest sorting system. Now, when you make this minecart chest sorting system, you have to do it one tile apart. I did do multiples, such as 2 and the 5 here, but it does have a chance of breaking, so I would definitely recommend doing it 1 space 1 space 1. So yeah, I have built Ilmango's chest thingy here, which vacuums all the items out of the chest, like that. And if you look down here, the items get put into this mechanism, which you've seen before. I've showed you where the observers power and trigger all these droppers when items get put into it, and all the items will go into these water streams. The water streams is basically just a fence gate to separate the water source and ice. They put into a soul sand column, which takes them up to the top, and there is a string block here, a cobweb, sorry, to compact all the items so they don't lag the game as much. Now once that happens, they get sent around this massive chain, where if they're in the sorting system and get recognized by the minecarts, they will get sucked up. Now, if we go back into the system, you will notice that I have all these levers, and if you can see redstone torches through there. That is because I wanted a Shulker Box emptier and filler inside my sorting system also. So I got pretty lazy at this point, so I just made a line of hoppers, which isn't as maximized, as optimized as it can be. Well, if you flip the lever, it will unpower the redstone torch, unlocking this hopper, taking all the items from that chest, and sending me along to the very end, where they get put in these item elevators and taken into the Shulker Box filler. Now if we go onto the other side of this wall, you'll see the chest, which the full Shulker Boxes will get put in. Now over here is the Shulker Box emptier, so you would put all your Shulker Boxes in here, then you would flick the button, which I just made a quick light to show that it's on. It's pretty basic, it's just one of these T flip-flops as well, where you push the observer, it spits out a redstone block, and if you push it again, it would just suck up the redstone block and unpower this light. And this is the mechanism I showed you before, the torch, repeater, going inside, into a dropper, and dispenser. Now all the items that get sucked out by these hopper minecarts will get put into this contraption which spits them all out into a water stream, up the bubble column, into string, and then they go around. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, chuck them in the comments, and yeah, enjoy.